All right. We are live. Well, I'm live. There should be some more people joining pretty soon. This is the community hangout. So if you want to be on a live stream with me and a few of the other guys that are on probably like once a month, email me at intheblues@outlook.com and I'll put you on the mailing list for the next one. So, yeah, we've got a few people watching already, which is cool. So welcome. Let me know where you're from. We've got Dan of NJ. Welcome, mate. It's a little bit earlier than normal for me for doing this, so I'm going to sound a little husky for a few moments. I've got my caffeine on tap here, ready. We got Whoa Boom Shakalaka. Welcome, Phil. How you doing, man? Lewis, Stephen of Ryan and Stephen Productions. Hey, cool. We got Ziggy. Welcome, Fender Guru. Danny H, welcome. Let me know where you guys are from if I don't know. Drink some Pepsi Max. I will soon, but I got a little trick up my sleeve right now. So I don't want to put it on camera because people think I'll be like a brand shill. But yeah, it's a big can. All right, we got that's from Lando, by the way, who said that. Welcome. Let me pause my stream here. All right. We got Matt G from Oregon. Welcome. Thanks, man. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. All right. So this is for those who haven't been to one of these community hangouts before. I send out an email whenever we do them, usually without a lot of heads up. So the email's been sent out. If you're usually on the list, you should get it in your inbox. Check your junk folder as well if it hasn't turned up, but it has been sent out. So if you want to be on one of these hangouts, it's intheblues@outlook.com. All right, Fender Guru from New Zealand. New Zealand, how are you, man? Danny H, Mississippi. Mississippi's cool. I wrote a song about Mississippi. I got to drive through there, and it was like one of the most laid-back places I've ever been. I liked it a lot. Maybe not everywhere, obviously, but where I went was great. Got Stephen of Ryan and Stephen's Productions from North Carolina. Cool. Morning from a cold Melbourne. Yeah, I know all about that. I got the heater, the Nana heater back here blasting. I usually do this in my other room where I do my videos, but I went in there. I was like, no, it's too cold. For those who always associate Canada with cold. Yeah, man. I bet. Yeah, so you got summertime there, which is crazy. Who would have thought? What does it get to -5 degrees Celsius? And that's summer. No. I know. I've seen you in shorts, so it must be all right. What do I think about the new player strat? We're actually going to test them out tomorrow. I haven't picked one up yet. I had a look at them on the wall at Sky Music, and they looked pretty good. But they're all right-handed, so Rick and I will probably go in there and shoot a couple of videos tomorrow, so all being well. All right, we've got Mitch. How are you, Mitch? Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, you're coming through.
Yeah, good. Oh man, computer problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was yeah.
That's all right. It's working now. Hey, Pat, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, man. You?
Yeah, good. Thanks for joining in.
Oh, I'm on the wrong camera.
I'm having some VPN issues with my laptop that I typically use. So.
Okay, cool. It's a computer problem.
I had to rig up the iPad.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm on a different computer now.
Oh, yeah, sweet. All right, we've got someone running around outside. Michael, welcome.
Hey, greetings.
How you doing?
Good. I got a 4th of July celebration, but we're about 2 hours from the fireworks. So.
4th of July sorry?
4th of July fireworks. So.
A bit early, isn't it?
Hours. Yeah, it's about 2 hours away. You got to get a spot. So we come early.
Oh, they do it on like a weekend beforehand, do they?
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Exactly. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
All right, so we got a few people in the chat here already, so which is cool. So yeah, like I said, if anyone wants to join, just email me and we'll add you to the list. So, what's new with you guys? I've seen Pat. You've been posting some pretty cool Instagram stuff lately. You've been recording, I think maybe.
We're on the verge. We did some live off the floor stuff in our rehearsal space.
Cool.
So yeah, we had a really good band heading into the end of last year, but our drummer essentially he went to an orthopedic surgeon and they said, well, you can either keep drumming or not drum and still be able to live the rest of your life normally. So
wow.
So he took a step back and focused on family and health, and as luck would have it, we just sort of by accident found this guy that was looking to jam with a band, and rest is history. So he's really tight drummer, and things are coming together well. And then I've got another guitarist friend of mine who's also a drummer who wants to start an R&B blues band in the fall. So
you break out that super reverb on 10, man. It'd be great.
Exactly.
Awesome. No, that's cool. I look forward to checking it out. That's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't realize. I know you're from Canada, but I didn't realize everyone in the US was going to be. They had the Independence Day celebrations today. So anyway,
well, it's Wednesday, but I guess they're having some people are doing it today, but I'm off Wednesday. Officially, it's July 4th.
Yeah. Is it a public holiday or whatever you call it there? Like you get
Yes.
You do get a day off for it. Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, national holiday.
Yeah. Okay. Holiday, yeah. Cool. Oh, good stuff. So, what's news with the rest of you guys? What's happening? Anything exciting?
I think the last time you had a hangout was a while ago. I just got that Ibanez 652, the Prestige.
Cool.
And I had a tremolo node put in. If you know what that is, it's where it's where I can just with like 3 thumb screws I can change it to like a floating.
The FU tone one, Mitch.
What's that?
The FU tone.
No, I got it done in my local shop up here.
Oh, okay.
It was expensive because any guitar. I mean, I don't know how it is with you guys, but when I buy a new guitar, it's never set up the way I like it. Now I'll buy some used ones that are fine, but any new one I have to get. Even my PRS SE, like I got this. I think I got the same one you do, Shane, except a different color. But
cool.
I had to get that set up. It's just I like my action a little low, and But anyway, it just wouldn't stay in tune right. Like I'm not used to a Floyd Rose, but now I can do dive bombing. I can only bend down.
yeah, cool.
I can bend down, but it stays in tune. It's fine now. I love it.
Yeah, nice. How about you, Michael?
Yeah.
Anything exciting on your side?
Yeah, one new thing I found out yesterday is I'm going to be music director for the first time for a show in Boston. I've never done that,
Ooh.
so kind of looking forward to it. Excited and nervous.
Sounds good.
So I got to learn 3 new songs and teach people 5 songs besides that for a show in Boston, a showcase.
Yeah, so, wow.
That's new for me.
yeah, nice. So how does that work exactly? What's the for those who might not understand, and maybe I don't either.
An artist we're writing. Yeah, no, it's okay. An artist I've been writing music with for the past year. He's kind of R&B-ish, rock R&B, and he's got an EP worth of 5 songs.
Cool.
And he's picked 3 covers, and he's been networking big clubs in Boston to do a showcase where you invite people, for like the big release party and hopefully industry people, and show off, the EP that he's been building for the past year, So that's why they call it a showcase. You can it's like industry showcase, meaning industry people show up, or just showcase you for your friends. But it's all original music for the most part,
It's good to see people are still making original music.
Yeah, well, if he didn't know the people at the club, they wouldn't let him play, But he purposely got a job there a year and a half ago, knowing that he was going to ask, hey, put me on.
yeah, well.
So he's pretty serious about it.
Cool. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn my headphones up a little bit here.
Shane, I didn't finish watching that. You were doing that review on the Telecaster.
Oh, the SX. Yeah.
I mean, I saw. I didn't finish watching it, but I was intrigued by the price.
Yeah, they're dirt cheap. They're really good. I always considered them junk. I've always seen them in secondhand shops, beat up and abused, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time with these. And something about it, I saw it on the wall at the shop, and I just went, man, this actually looks pretty good. It looks like they're like nicer than what I remembered, and especially after just playing a lot of classic. You know, I owned a couple of classic vibes, and I've played recently a whole lot of those Affinity series Strats and Tallies from Squire. I just thought, yeah, this looks good, and I picked it up, and it's like, far out, it plays great. I haven't done anything to it yet, but it's gonna be like the modding platform, so I can try stuff and, you know, just
the opening riff you did in the beginning. Oh my gosh, it was really good.
Oh, thanks, man. I tried to.
Like, I didn't finish watching. I mean, I had to run out, and then I come home, the computer's not working, and I had to take that all apart. I'm on a laptop now.
Yeah.
Laptop, but it's, you know, I was anxious, you know, 'cause I can't afford any more expensive stuff. Now I'm watching all this EVH stuff. Now I have to have an EVH.
Yeah, it's addictive.
It's addicting. I mean, I don't have a Telecaster. I got a Strat. I got American Strat, and but I don't know.
Look, this is just something that I don't know. I'm not even really sure why I bought them, to be honest. I liked it enough to go, you know what? I think these will be the guitars that I grab for doing this sort of stuff, like modding.
I'm telling you, it didn't sound like a 200. Well,
no.
Yeah, you play well. I mean, you can make a $50 guitar sound good, but it sounded really, really good.
Yeah, thanks. I liked it. I took it out live the night that I got it. So that unboxing video, I had 40 minutes to get home from the shop. I got home, I did that video, and then I went straight to the jam night. So, yeah, it worked fine. Like, I thought it was great. The only problem was when I had it at the jam, I was using this different strap, and I had the guitar sitting really low, and I couldn't play it properly. So I did film some of that, but it didn't come up right. So I'm going to take it up tonight and hopefully do some more playing and see if we can get some live footage. But I think the man responsible for this is just arrived, John.
G'day, mate.
Hey, man.
What are you on about? What am I getting blamed for now?
Those SX guitars.
SX, is that like a pedal or something?
Yeah, it's just
tell me about it, mate.
Really crappy branded guitars.
I'll let you talk. I'll just sit back. You tell me all about it, mate.
There you go. See, we got the same one, have we? Is that the same?
I believe so. Have a look at that. Is that the same as yours? The VTG, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
With the green plate.
Yep.
It's the one I've been telling you about all along, man.
Yeah, I'm shocked how great they are. I'm really shocked.
I'm sure there's some dogs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michael?
You had that at that shop you did the walkthrough recently, Shane?
Yeah, I ended up buying that Telecaster, and then I bought that exact same strap that John just had there. It's this guy. So, yeah. I've never seen I actually made a mistake in the video. I was in a bit of a rush, and I said most cheap guitars have a nitro finish. I meant to say a really thin poly finish, but yeah, this is just great. Yeah, it's up there, definitely up there with the classic vibes. Yeah, it's a cool store. I don't often I haven't been to that shop for probably 10 years, and yeah, I definitely.
I can't think of an equivalent here at all. I'm sure they exist, but I can't think of one.
Whereabouts are you from again? What part of the
near
US?
Boston?
Oh, near Boston. Cool.
I'm sure they exist, but everywhere's got like Guitar Center and things like that. There's some small shops, but they have boutique stuff. Like I can't think of a budget place.
Michael, are you close to Steve from Boston?
No, I'm probably 30 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry. I won't show up at his house, but.
Oh,
sorry, I did that, so you'll be fine. Pat, unfortunately,
he's in Tennessee anyway. He's in Tennessee.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he is.
I almost went, but I had stuff come up and I didn't get to go. But I thought I was going to show up on the plane at the same plane ride with him because that happens. You know, like the rides down there. There's not that many, but I couldn't go.
Now, when you guys get new guitars, did you notice that your other ones get neglected?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, this American Strat is my first decent guitar I got 3 years ago. I never play it. I mean, hardly ever play it. There's nothing wrong. Well, other than the strings need to be changed. But
see, that's reason enough for some people to buy another guitar. Once the strings get old, go to the shop, grab another guitar.
Yeah, it can be a pain, especially on that weird roads with the Ibanez. I haven't done that yet.
Don't feel bad, Mitch. If you need to, you can send it to me. I'll give it a good home.
No, I mean, it's pretty easy. It's got the locking tuners on here.
Oh,
Cool.
nice. Steve, welcome, man. How are you?
How's everybody?
Great.
Good.
All good.
Doing good. Just keeping warm here, which is good. You can see I got my old school gas heater fired up. So someone said just before, sorry, Moyle said enjoyed reading your interview. So I got interviewed by reverb.com, which was kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
It's if you want to check it out, you should be able to find it pretty easily. It's interviews on there, and it's funny because a few people said they should have done a video interview with you, but it was good as opposed to just blathering on about stuff. So what's
You're
new?
really getting to be big time.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it was interesting that they asked to do that, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Well, if they even asked you, they must have regarded you as some sort of legitimate source or force there.
Oh, it was nice actually. They kind of get where I'm coming from with what I do, and that was interesting. You never know, because a lot of people, I think the bigger your YouTube channel gets, the new people that turn up assume the worst in people a lot of the time. So it was good that I haven't really dealt with Reverb before. I have emailed back and forth with them before, but we're not like the interview was pretty good actually. I was happy with it, and they asked some good questions, and it was good just to sort of put everything out there. And I guess they complimented me on a few things about doing different kind of videos to some other channels, and it was good.
Shane, there was something that I did want to compliment you on your videos, and the reason I'm saying this is that you seem to understand the difference between the volume when you're speaking and the volume you should be playing your background music at.
Yeah.
It seems like even TV shows, professional people, movies, when you're listening, the voice and the background music are either at parity or the music is even a touch louder. So you have a very hard time, hearing what's being said over the background music, which is supposed to be background music.
Yeah.
And when I was watching your guitar shopping Saturday video the other day, I was impressed with that for the first time, that I actually consciously realized it. I said, you know what? He's got the handle on how loud to have the music, when it's enjoyable to just be listening to, your background music when you're not speaking. But when you choose to speak, you take the volume and you knock it down to about a quarter where you can still hear it. It's still enjoyable in the background, but you're not competing with the music for who's the loudest here.
No, Steve, it's really our age. That's what it is. It's our age.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It really could be that too. So
Anderton's had a video that you couldn't hear the voice for like 30 seconds at the beginning of the video because of the background music.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Just today,
Oh man, really? They got producers as well. Yeah.
So Shane, what I want you to do is call them up and tell them how to do it. Will you please?
No, I don't think they'd probably take a whole lot of criticism from a guy with a YouTube channel about a quarter of their size. So they're doing something right. But I get it. Like I've made so many videos over the years that I had so many people whinge about how loud the background music was, and I think less is better. Whenever you talk, bring it all down.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Less is better. And
I've worked it out now. The Guitar Search Saturday videos, because I use a lot of the same music from the same place, it's all kind of the same volume, and I know exactly where I have to kind of pull it down to get a pretty background music, as opposed to having it cranked. So
And
I wish Hollywood and all the other TV shows would just take your lead on this one.
No,
Look,
yeah,
this is the way you're supposed to be doing it.
yeah. I just don't like
and your
it.
video editing is really, really good. I mean, people don't realize it, but the editing, that's a whole job in itself, and that's really good.
Yeah, I try to have a fine line between good editing and time efficiency. I could spend way more time editing, but the result wouldn't be that much better. It's kind of like I've got I guess, a format now that works and it's time effective. A lot of the things that make it easier for me now is just having multiple cameras. I can kind of, if I make a mistake, Guitar Search Saturday is different. That's like a whole different beast. But just on my actual videos, that editing process is pretty quick, because if I need to chop something out, I can kind of switch cameras. There's all these little tricks.
Here's a question for you. If you're using multi cameras on the same shot or doing the same thing, do you record your audio separately and you sync everything together?
Yeah, that's how it works. So I have sort of 3 cameras normally when I shoot videos. Whether it's like the SX guitar, I think was just 2. But if I'm doing a pedal demo, like a pedal or an amp video, I usually have a 3rd camera. Or if I'm not lazy, I'll use 3 cameras on the guitar, and then my voice goes into one of the cameras wirelessly, and then in Final Cut, I just kind of sync everything together, and then literally I have to chop out my voice every time I play guitar. Otherwise, you hear the strings and all that kind of stuff.
Is it difficult lining everything up, or?
It used to be. It used to be really hard, but now you just highlight all the files and right-click it and go sync, and it just goes puts them all together. Yeah,
really.
So at the start, usually what I do, I just
make a loud noise,
break the strings a couple times, and then that just lines everything up. It works pretty well. Yeah.
Anyway, you recognize this, Shane? Don't you have one of these?
Oh, nice.
Is that
very
a
nice.
I think it's the same. The standard Pro.
Oh no, I don't actually have one of those. Is that an Epiphone? Is it?
I thought you had one. I thought you did a.
I borrowed one a while back, but I didn't buy it.
I thought it was yours. I remember you did a.
Yeah, I got a Tokai that looks pretty much exactly the same.
But I think you did one on the Epiphone too. You did a review on one.
Yeah, I think I borrowed it because I did.
I assumed it was yours. I assumed it was.
I did have an Epiphone years ago, but it was a black one.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Tokai that was that color as well, a Chinese one before the one that I've got now. So, yeah, I've had a few that were that color. They're great guitars. Is that one of the pros? Is it? Does it say? Is that the
standard Pro
with pro buckers?
Whatever stock. It's I think that's what it is. I mean, whatever comes with it stock. It was 2011. I got it about a little less than a year ago. But I was looking at those brand new Gibson Faded Tees, and they were terrible. I mean, maybe they were set up.
Terrible.
If they were set up properly.
They were terrible.
That's right. Yeah, I think you did tell me. But I think if it was set up, but how can you gauge a new guitar when it's not set up right? And this was used. I picked it up. I loved it right away, and I saved like $700 or $800.
Yeah, wow.
I have the same one.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I think it's good. I mean, I don't play it much, but I like it.
Like the color. It's pretty popular.
Yeah, it's the slash. That's the slash color, I think, isn't it? Is that the? Yeah.
I forget what is it. Chair. I forget.
Actually, the top of that looks way nicer than my Tokai. Actually, it's got a really nice sort of flame thing going on in the yellow part. It looks great.
If you're not playing it, Mitch, you can send it to me, and I'll give that one a good home too.
I can only play one at one time, and I
promise you,
I got the Ibanez Prestige, and I can't put that thing down.
I promise you, it will get a good home. It will be looked after like it was a real person.
Cool. So, John, anything new on your side of the world? Oh, on your side of the world, on your side of the country, I should have said.
Mate, as you can see the background, I got rid of all the big stuff yesterday.
Cool.
In a couple of weeks, I start my new job in Melbourne on the 23rd of July, so I'll be heading down the weekend before that. But so yeah, at the moment, this will be a quick break in my my packing and getting ready to move. doing this hangout. I said, well, they're few far between these at the moment, so I'll jump in. But I didn't even have a Saturday. I just had one big long Friday because I didn't go to sleep, and I was just moving stuff around all night, getting it all ready for. I had a friend of mine come past with his ute and trailer. We threw everything on the back and took it to the storage place. Cool. So that's it at the moment. When I just picked up that guitar before, I think that's the first time I've got my hands on a fretboard in about 10 days. So been busy.
Yeah, wow. So when's the big move, like officially?
Well, the 23rd. So like I basically finish here on Friday the 20th, drive down on the weekend, and then start on Monday. So I'll be camped out at my mum's place for a couple of weeks and then find my own place and come back and grab all my stuff. So as far as music, guitars like that, I've got nothing to tell you, man, unfortunately. But hopefully once I'm down, I'll set myself up and we can have better stories then. Yeah, no worries. Cool. Well, you'll love all the guitar shops, man. There's just so many of them. Like there's so many around. I know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, even when I know that I'm planning a trip down, I always go onto the websites and see what's going on, see if there's anything good down the swap shop or something like that. Yeah, it'll be good to get back home.
Yeah. Well, if you're not playing it, John, you can send it to me and I'll give it a good home.
No, you won't be able to. Actually, he's a lefty.
That's okay. I'll turn it upside down.
The last time I heard someone scrounging so hard, it was Dr. Rick looking for the super chats.
Oh yeah, I know. It's a shocker. All right, so a few people are saying that Michael's camera, I think it is stuck on a picture, but he's on a mobile, so that's probably what it is. Sometimes the connection won't be as good as being at home, so don't worry about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shane, I'm going to jump. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, no worries. I think it was. Anyway, yeah, you can hang around, man. It's totally cool if you want. Or thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the fireworks preparing, and everybody have a great weekend.
Cool.
Be careful with the lights.
See you, Mitch. See you, Steve. John.
Take care.
See you, mate. Yeah,
we got 4th of July week this weekend. There's going to be a lot of fireworks. There's going to be a lot of beer drank. There's going to be a lot of barbecuing, and
yeah,
this is the time of year when people who are not really trained about how to handle fireworks and stuff, they're usually blowing fingers off, and you get a lot of people looking like Captain Hook.
Steve, where are you at?
I'm in Jersey.
Okay, you're not too far from me.
No, not too far at all, really.
Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay. I'm up in the northwest corner of Jersey, Morris County.
Cool. So, have any of you guys had a chance to check out those new Fender? What are they called? The new Strats and Tallies that are out.
The Player Series. Yes.
Player Series.
So I've been trying to get a handle on this one. Are they just taking the Mexican stuff and renaming it now, or
yeah, pretty much?
It's got some different features.
They're basically doing like what they did when they went from the Americans. When the Americans went from the went to the professional series. From what were they called? Not
standards.
Standards.
Were they standards? Oh, they were standards. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what they call the Mexican ones, but
you're right. Actually,
sorry.
The Mexican. It's weird because they've changed names a few times. They used to be called the American Standard Series.
That's right. It was the American Standard, and then I think from what I've seen on the videos, they've upgraded certain aspects of them across the board. And I think they've just been doing that. I don't know, trying to offer something to keep people interested, but. Definitely, they seem to have come up with pickups that they've changed from ceramic to Alnico pickups.
Yeah.
They've added the 22nd fret. They've gone to the 2-point trem where the Mexican used to have the 6 string. So it's pretty big difference to what it used to be.
Cool.
Looks like they goosed the price a little bit too.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's always going to happen.
Jamal.
It's Jamal.
Hey, how are you,
Hello, guys.
Yeah, what's he not doing?
I'm actually
get out of there and go to work
vacation this week.
What? You got some time off?
Vacation this week. Yeah, I've been.
What's time off? What does it mean time off? Who do you think you're kidding?
I did work a little bit.
What's that? Less baggage?
Yeah.
There's Terry.
Hey,
Hey,
Terry,
Terry.
how are you, mate?
Full because I had some ribs from our rib fest that we have going on this weekend here in our
Yeah.
in my town.
Cool.
I just got done watching it, the video.
Yeah, it was
I
all
got the-
shaky
you got the
and
stylo-
that was like
Stylo 3, that's what I got.
yeah, nice.
It's a good phone for a cheap phone. It's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
I love mine.
So Pat, who was here before, is just having some technical problems. He had to drop off because his computer crashed. So yeah, we'll see if we can work it out. But he said he was having computer problems as soon as he joined, and that he didn't last long, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
you're still watching, Pat. Thanks for dropping in. We'll get it sorted out for next time. I'm an IT nerd, man. I hope you sorted it out. I used to be.
I thought, I knew you were an IT guy. I mean, the other computer's an i7, and it was just sometimes wouldn't boot up when it did, and it got real slow. And I got SSDs in there. It's just no way something's going on, and I'm thinking it might be the power supply. I hope that's all it is. I don't know.
Now remember, Shane, you got to say it. It's not the computer's fault. It's the user's fault.
Yeah, just reboot it, mate. You'll be fine.
Just reboot it. Yeah, there you go. Check to make sure that the plug is plugged in.
Yeah. Did you have the power on?
That might be my problem sometimes.
So what's happening, Jamal? What's news, man?
Nah, not much. Just trying to get all my bills paid. So I'm still trying to get that flying V.
Yeah.
But then now I'm like, now with that new what is it, the standard series, or what do they call it, the standard series, the new ones, like 674, player series. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, for the price of one flying V, I can get a Strat and a Telly.
That's good.
Because Shane got two guitars. He's got the SX Strat and Telly. I'm like, man, maybe get quantity over quality. Quantity.
Yeah, exactly. Just buy do what Nick in the States does. Just buy $30 guitars as opposed to buying one really good one. So,
well, actually, I'm waiting to see what happens with see what Gibson offers in the 2019 range, and if they still offer lefties, and I might wait on the V.
All I'll say is, from what I can see, there's a lot of blue in 2018 from the Gibson line.
Yeah.
Literally.
I still want to get
Blueberry Burst, Aqua Burst, and actual blue for some reason.
Man, I haven't even checked what's coming out for next.
They snuck a little, was a Twitter video. It was probably about a minute or so long. They kind of went around the whole
cool.
2019 range. I don't see anything different. I mean, I don't see anything. I mean, outside of maybe some colors, but as far as offering anything radically different, I don't see anything.
On Philip's live stream that he did there last night,
did a good one.
He said he's seen my comment and he agreed that it looks a lot like a bunch of Paul Reed Smith stuff now.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
Oh, well, they'll end up copying each other at some point. Fender will release the whatever the equivalent of the Silver Sky is of a Gibson guitar soon. They'll just do like everyone will just be making knockoffs of other brands, shapes and stuff.
I tell you what, Jamal, you know what you might like, those new Relic EVH guitars. There's 25,000. They got 3 of them. The top was 25. What's the other one? I can't remember, but there's like 25,000 and 12,000 and 7,000.
Okay.
Is that what it is, Terry? I think you know what I'm talking about.
25,000. I think my wife would kill me. She'd have me castrated, I think.
Yeah.
Who would pay 25,000? Well, a lawyer or a doctor, maybe.
No, I don't know.
All those Eddie Van Halen ones. Yeah, it's just insane. The cheapest one is like 10 grand, and there's only like 40 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Kinda
like
like
the
Browning
extreme
too.
end is
If you're a classic-
25,000. 25,000 and only 8.
Well, like Shane was saying, everybody will copy everybody, and eventually they will have copied each other so many times they'll all be right back where they started from. It'll go around in a complete circle. They'll be putting out the same
Exactly.
guitar that they put out 15 years ago and acting like it was a recent discovery.
You know, the only
Brand
brand,
new.
I wonder if there's actually any brands that kind of aren't copying the classics. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I mean,
I think
Gretsch-
Parker did it, but they don't make any guitars anymore because Parker had a unique design.
Yeah, you're right
The
about them,
Parker
actually.
Fly, but they haven't made those guitars in. I can't remember the last time I seen them.
It's on wireless. I was like, where'd you go?
I'm freaking out.
Did Parker go out
adult
of
beverage.
business?
I
Waiting
don't
for
know.
the Munis again.
They
I
had
think I
a,
heard they went out of business, but they're good. They were good guitars, but weren't they pricey?
yeah.
Depends on. I think did they have like several different? I mean, I'm just running off of memory. I think they had like a brand that was kind of like their cheaper entry brand, and they had the one that was made out of composite material, and that was more of the expensive brand. Like I said, I'm going by memory and Guitar World magazines from the early '90s and late '80s.
There was actually one of those
I'm
at
not
my
sure.
local cash converters. But the problem with the Parker that I played, it felt like the body connected on the 12th fret. So you had nowhere. You couldn't play even on here, like on the 12th, very easy. So it was really odd. Like it was a nice guitar, just an interesting place to...
Were they light? Were they light guitars?
Yeah, it was pretty light. I think it was I can't remember. Like Jamal said, it might have been some sort of. I don't even know if it was a wood body. It might have been a different
It's
sort
like
of
a composite plastic or something like that.
Yeah.
I sold an effects pedal to a guy, and he brought his guitar over. It was a Parker, and he played it. And I remember playing it. I just remember it being really light.
Yeah, look, I only played it once, and they had it for a price that wasn't appealing. I went back in and they had it for $300, and I thought, oh, geez, that's pretty good. But it was way too pointy for a guy like me. It was like me buying it. Yeah.
Wow.
It was just a bit too pointy. So, Landon, how are you, man?
There's
Landon.
I'm gonna be here. I got like 20 minutes. I'm doing something else, but
He always says
It's all good.
What's new? Jamal, you got some cigarettes hanging out of your ears. You know that? I don't know if you...
I was like, what?
Every time I see those iPod,
these
what are they? The Apple earbuds? It looks so ridiculous.
They're the low tar nicotine ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're part of a cult. You know, there's like we're all running around with little AirPods on, like, we love Apple. We love Apple. But they really work well. I mean, I use them outside when I'm at work, you know.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
One time I'm not at work. Yeah.
I'd be scared to lose them. That's what I'd be worried about that. Just
Hey,
like...
Jamal, my favorite movie was Airplane, by the way.
Not playing with any airplanes today, thank goodness. I'll go back to work Tuesday.
As long as you're talking about airplanes, Jamal, I'm a flight simmer.
Oh, really?
I fly a simulated 737-800 all over the place. Matter of fact,
there you go.
in the simulated world, yeah. No, I use Newark Liberty as a home base airport, and fly 737s. I've got a model of an A320, got a model of a 787, 747. Nice. I'm telling you, yeah. You know, and even though I'm not really flying, you know, it's the whole environment is right there.
Everything it's kind of a cool thing, yeah.
Everything from weather to routing to, you know, getting out and, you know, all the 9 yards and all this stuff.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right, so let's right into that.
I usually like to fly with a United livery.
We had a question here from HK. He says, or she says, what is the heaviest guitar people have played weight-wise? For me, it would have to be probably my Tokai Les Paul is pretty brutally bad.
Probably this one.
So it's too heavy?
There you go. What's that one? Is that the studio?
Oh, this one. Yeah, this is the tribute. It's a 17 tribute.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
nice.
This is why I made that comment. I said your SX kind of reminds me of this color.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like this. They call this a satin gold.
Okay.
You know, but and this is probably the heaviest, but it's really not that bad for me.
Cool, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I've played a couple of really heavy Les Pauls. We actually picked up a Bernie Les Paul, which was brutally heavy yesterday. It was a right-handed one, but Bernie's kind of like another lawsuit era guitar from the 70s. And yeah, that thing was just, it was like, you take it off the rack and you're like, oh, put it back on. So,
It's a workout.
Somebody give me a hand with this, please.
yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's not when you got a heavy guitar. Like my heaviest one is one of my parts casters, and it's ash. But the ash, I guess, is really dense. It's right here. It's this red one. This is the guitar I play the least because of the weight. It's like 10 pounds, and just picking it up, I'm less inclined to pick it up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What's the body made out of?
Ash, but I guess the ash, like I guess. Like woods can be the same wood, but you can have different density in that tree, right? So,
yeah, I think
might be all over the place.
My Ibanez is ash. I think it's ash, and it's not super heavy at all.
yeah, and you can get light ones too, like my Tele Pro. I don't know if it's on the camera here. I think it's ash. It's a light ash, and it's like 7 pounds. So depends on the wood.
My heaviest one is my PJ bass.
Anything like over 8-9 pounds is too much for me. So that one just hangs there. I hardly play it because of that.
It'll probably end up bending the thing, out of the wall and just.
One day the drywall is gonna rip out and it'll just be on the floor. I tried some PRS last week. I think Shane, I sent you a message. I tried your exact model and a blue one.
Cool.
Custom 24. And the one that you have, the setup I think was a lot better on it because it was amazing. It was really cool.
Yeah, I love the way. Actually, I got a video coming up about that PRS and why I like it coming up pretty soon because it's one of the few guitars I've ever had where I haven't had to do anything to it. Like it just works, which is pretty cool. We got Alizar used the super chat. He just says, "Cheers, folks. Thoughts on the new Charvel Pros." Charvel's a brand I don't see anywhere in Australia that I go to. Any of the shops I go to. Look, Sky Music do have a few, but they've only got, I think they've got a select handful. They've got what's the dude's name? There's a signature model. He's a gun guitar player. He moved over from Sir.
Is that Guthrie Gunn?
Yeah, him. Yeah, they got that. Rick played that, and that guitar's beautiful. So, look, I haven't picked up enough, or I haven't played any, but the ones I've seen look good, but I haven't played them because I'm left-handed. So, if anyone else has got any experience,
They have no love for us lefties. No.
Yeah, it's Oh, is that your PRS, Mitch?
Yep.
Beautiful.
It's a SC 24 2017. I got it in November, and like Sweetwater, you know how like
rub it in my face.
They'll have several guitars, and they'll have a picture for each one and the weight. This was the heaviest one. I don't know why I picked the heaviest one. It was I think it was 8 something, little 8.3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I sit down most of the time anyway and play. So,
cool.
But this was, I gotta say, this is my all-round favorite. Well, until I got the Ibanez, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to have one guitar where I want to leave it a half step down, and the one with the Floyd Rose, and I had this a half step down, but I'll put this back up. But it's just so versatile. You can play anything. To me, play anything with it, any type of music.
Yeah, that's
what
I love about mine.
The PRS, the two that I played, I don't love the way they look, but it felt really good, and it was comfortable to play. So I think that kind of, I don't know if that's how other people feel about them. I don't love the way they look still.
Were they new off the shelf, Landon?
Yeah, brand new. I just mean the styling. I'm not into the, like, I don't love I don't know, something about the curves or something on it.
I don't know. I like it.
Maybe the neck pocket itself.
I think it sort of comes down to they almost look like a metal guitar. Almost, but not quite. They're kind of like they're really.
I don't think
Les Paul made love.
You're not going to see any metal players. I don't think I've seen any metal players with a PR.
I've never thought of them as a metal guitar.
Actually, there are a few metal players that actually have.
Sorry, Terry, I just muted you, dude. Let's try again. You're killing everybody.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure if I was too high or too low.
Yeah.
There is actually a Paul Reed Smith model that actually has bat inlays on it, and it's for a metal artist. Deft. There you go. What? I'm deft.
Fixing you up.
He muted himself
over the internet.
The PRS thing, yeah, like I was saying, they're kind of like they almost look like they could be a metal guitar if they changed just a couple of things, or they almost look like they could be very boring if they changed a few things. So that's an interesting sort of middle ground. Like I never thought I'd be into the SEs, but
I've always thought of them as a Strat and Les Paul made love, and they fathered or they birthed a PRS.
They love.
I mean, because that's attributes of a Stratocaster and attributes of a kind of Les Paul.
The funny thing is they don't sound like either, you know, and that's
it's just like it's a hybrid thing.
Yeah.
Tone.
You know what I actually played through too? I played through a Bass Breaker 15.
Did it blow up?
No, I was just gonna say that.
I'm about to say
it was surprising it didn't. You know what I didn't like on that?
Oh man, I think my internet died.
I don't like the knobs on that amp.
Sorry, my internet just went funny. I missed that last few seconds. Sorry, Landon. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just saying I played through a Bass Breaker 15 with the PRS, and the amp sounded pretty good. The guitar was good. I don't like the knobs on the top of that amp. The big they're big round plastic.
The black ones.
Yeah,
they're a little weird.
Seemed weird, like a weird choice.
I haven't really messed with them too much, but
I guess Wando doesn't have the doctor's touch.
Yeah. No. So that video will be making a reappearance on my channel.
Cool. Read it.
That was hilarious.
Who wanted movement? Yeah, it wasn't probably the best move to put that actually on that channel because of agreements with you know, I don't want the shop getting in trouble with anybody. So it'll be rebranded and put on my channel coming up. So if you didn't see Dr. Rick destroying an amplifier, it'll be on its way.
I was waiting for
I look at it like this. It wouldn't keep me from buying a Bass Breaker just because y'all turned that one up and then died. I mean, y'all were turning it up.
It'll just stop you from letting Dr. Rick use your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone, you know, I mean, the video clearly said, "Yeah, we're gonna crank these things up and see what happens." Yeah. Sometimes, you know, I wouldn't buy a Bass Breaker 1830 to crank up to. How high did y'all have it?
You didn't have it at the max, right?
It was 3/4 of the way up when it died. I think.
Yeah, 3/4. Yeah, I would never play that amp that high with that kind of volume. You know, I mean, I figured that's a little too much for that type of an amp. But there
really wasn't a whole lot of acceptance for those amps either. I don't know. It just didn't have a niche anyplace. You know, people just never picked up or identified with it.
There were a Fender trying to be a Marshall that was trying to be the Marshall that the Marshall copied from a Fender.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The funny thing is, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, you could just release the video on Thursday and make it your 4th of July special.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Add some fireworks to it. Yeah.
The weird thing with that series of amps too, like every single one of them was different. Like the 15 had reverb and 3 different gain stages. The 7 had no reverb. The 18 and to 35 or whatever it was had no reverb either. And it's just an odd. Some of the stuff was missing that was on some of the amps, like some of the EQ controls, maybe the mids control on one of them or something. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. So someone just asked if Sky Music got back their stolen Rosewood Strat yet. It was on the news here as well. So this couple of guys walked out with a $10,000 guitar.
Oh, my God.
Look, I don't know. I haven't spoken to the guys in a few days, so I don't know if I don't think they've got it back, but they may have a lead. That's all I know. So we'll see.
Terrible.
Yeah. And you know they actually sort of have their guitars mostly locked on the wall too. So it was a bit of a shock to see it to see that pop up on the news and all that kind of stuff.
So the guy just walk out with it, or?
Oh, look, there was a few guys, and I think it was a
Put a scam kind of thing.
bit of a distraction.
Ocean's 11 now.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Landon. He says he's got to run, but cheers, man. I'll catch you soon. He's just in the chat here.
He's been having his own chats recently too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed him the other day.
For a little bit.
I think he does them Thursday night, possibly.
Thursday night, I think he said, yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday night at about 10 o'clock Eastern at night. Every second Thursday. Yeah, I've been in on it.
You got it down.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that bass breaker video should be pretty funny. For those who didn't see, it had 1,000 views in like 40 minutes, and I was like, "All right, this is a good video." And then, yeah, I spoke to the guys at the shop. They're like, "It's probably not a good thing to have that on our, because we're a dealer." I said, "No, I understand that." So, anyway,
the first one y'all cranked up was the Basement, right?
Yeah.
That was how big? How many watts was that?
It's 40, I think, or 45.
Yeah. I mean, so I was just. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're reshooting that video for In the Blues. Like, we're going to do a follow-up with the preferred settings because a few people were saying, oh, it's got too much bass and all that kind of stuff. But in the room, it actually sounded really good. So we're going to bring some room mics in and reshoot it.
That's why it blew up then. Too much bass.
There you go.
Oh, look at this.
By the way, I found the guitar that I was talking about. It is a Paul Reed Smith SE Paul Allender.
Okay.
From he is the lead guitarist for Cradle of Filth.
Okay.
So you can't see it there, but I'll zoom in view on it.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh.
So it's got EMGs, kind of a purple kind of burst, and instead of the bird inlays.
Got bats.
Oh, okay.
Got bats.
So all kind of things, huh? Okay, at the risk of sounding stupid, I'm gonna ask this question anyways. Okay, like those EMG pickups. I mean, what's the difference between those active pickups and say what I have in my Telly and my Les Paul?
Public perception.
I mean, I know, yeah, because most of the time you see these active pickups with, the battery packs. And I mean, I don't know what. I mean, what's the purpose of those? I mean, is it enhance the sound?
Hotter output, basically. That's
okay.
It's going to be.
They got a preamp included.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's it.
You can drive the amp harder, but some of my favorite blues guys used active pickups on a lot of my favorite recordings, which is surprising. So, oh yeah.
You mean EMGs like this?
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I see people that put them on guitars. I know Eric he had a couple of Chipsons, and I know he put a pair of them in one of them. It's just like, okay, I just never really,
I can actually
novice.
It comes down to basically, I don't know. I think good tone's good tone. One of my favorite blues guys was Michael Burks, and he had a song called "Empty Promises." Awesome song. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. And I was like, this tone is phenomenal. I looked up the guitar he was playing. I'm like, he's using EMGs in a Strat. I'm like, how good is this?
Hurt your feelings a little bit, huh?
I was like, oh well, okay. I like him now.
Hey,
yeah,
whatever it takes to get the tone that you're trying to get, I guess.
It's
I just never.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say, from what I understand now, having this guitar, in this case, this Schecter doesn't actually have the adapter kit in this EMG. These are actually hardwired together. In the case of this one that I have here in this Schecter Damon Elite Floyd Rose that I traded my DBZ Imperial for. That's top one here is an 85, which is an Alnico 5 based pickup. This one's an 81, which is a ceramic based pickup. So again, it's a play of the magnetics thing creating that appropriate sound, and of course, the noiseless aspect of it specifically.
Okay.
So there is tonal differences. Another thing too that they say with the EMGs is enhanced sustain.
Okay.
Okay, so you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Come back tomorrow, it's still doing it.
You need that Sustainiac, Harry.
I like it.
What's that?
The Sustainiac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar, but definitely not like a Sustainiac.
No, I mean, that's what you
Is that
need.
a real thing?
What's that?
A sustainer. Is that a real thing?
Yes,
Yeah,
Fernandez.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, but that thing,
Get out of the loop.
you could turn it on and off, and I think it'll just go. I mean, it will still keep on ringing that note, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Learn something new every day.
A Sustainiac.
Fernandez,
Look that up.
Sustainiac, they're usually in the neck position as some guitars. There's occasionally some guitars that have both. But yeah, it's basically the formula of like a more higher wound, hotter pickup, somehow increasing the gain and, creating this infinity kind of sustain. The Tone King had one on the other night, and that's all he was doing. He was just sitting there and he was just.
So it's a pickup, right? So
yes, it's a pickup. Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like what's the guy from the strap that they made for the guy from Radiohead? Doesn't he have a pickup that kind of does something like that? Maybe back or something. But so it's a similar kind of all right.
Just a quick shout out
in the realm.
to HK, who's the super chat. I think that's euros, 9.99 euros. So thanks, man.
Saying you get rich.
Is that a euro? I thought that's the symbol for a pound.
It might be pound. I always get them confused. Yeah, I think you could be right. It is pound. So thanks for that. If you have any questions, just let us know, and we'll happily take them. So appreciate that. That's crazy. We got. We had a question here. Zach says, Jamal, show us. Show us some of your guitars if you've got any on the side here. So.
Yeah, I have. I got two right here. I got my.
How nice is that?
Yeah, I bought this the same time I ordered the PRS. This came in first.
You're the only guy I know who waited a year and a half for a PRS when they were everywhere else.
You want to hear the crazy thing, Shane? Right after I canceled the order, like 2 weeks after I canceled the order, I get a message from American Music Supply. We got our PRSs in. They're in. They're here. I'm like, I might have moved on. I want a flying V now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I ordered this
I'll
one
teach him.
now this one has the Paul Ferro neck. Doesn't have the rosewood neck. This one that came out last year.
Hey Jamal, do you think it makes any difference? The Paul Ferro neck, do you think it makes any difference?
I don't really know. It does. It feels pretty much the same as the rosewood.
Same feel. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if this is actually rosewood. It doesn't look like it. This is a 17 tribute.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it was like $900. They went up about $100 for 2018. I love it. It's my only left-handed guitar. I know I'm opposite. Everything is right-handed except for the left-handed stuff.
Oh, I thought you were an iPhone.
Oh, I'm a left
right-handed stuff.
I'm joking.
See, I see this. This is a 2000. I think I want to say it's a 13 or 14, but instead of 13, this is a American Standard with a V-neck. This is a Fender Special Run.
Cool.
It was the little Aldenized gold and stuff. I think it had like Fat 50 pickups in there. And I got this because I just love the color. And
how do you like the V-neck, Jamal?
It's smooth. It's really smooth. Even if I'm, this is where I'm supposed to play it. It's nice. It's really nice because. Go ahead.
Oh no, keep going. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I must have a lag. I think I got a bit of a lag. I was just going to say, when you play a right-handed guitar upside down, do you ever have issues knocking the tone and volume controls with your arm?
Actually, no. I really don't really buy. I don't have a problem.
Okay, cool.
You know, I guess that my first guitar was a right-handed, and I just got used to not hitting the volume and the
that'll
tone
probably
knobs.
that'll definitely. I mean, if you started playing that way.
Yeah, the difference is if that's what you used to, because I ended up getting one to make like a Hendrixy type guitar, and I hate playing it because the way I normally play, I always get the lead sticking right out to where my arm wants to be.
Yeah, that is an issue. I have one lead that kind of goes in. Everything, my baby. This is my custom shop. This is a 69 Strat. This is by far the most expensive guitar I have. Excuse me. This one costs probably more than all three of these combined. I love this guitar. I paid $3,100 for this. This is definitely got the Hendrix vibe. I got all the springs in the back.
That's another.
I have it all the way down to the. Yeah, I have it all the way down. So
got it decked.
I don't really use the whammy too much on this one, but this is the prize of my collection. This is the one I got first, and I kind of just started getting these later. And I have an acoustic guitar that's sitting over there. That's really not that important. That's
cool, man.
it.
By the way, to confirm, it is a rosewood fingerboard on that 2017.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because it seemed a little lighter, and I didn't know because I know that the Flying V I'm looking at, it's somebody help me with that. It's some kind of weird neck. It starts with a G, I believe. It's some kind of I don't know what it is. It's a different wood.
Gradea or something that's called.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So I don't know if that would. Yeah. So I don't know if that was the same thing or not. Because when I tried one at Southpaw Guitars, it felt similar to this, but it felt familiar. Just like the Paul Ferru. It doesn't feel that much different.
Hurt your tongue with that one.
I know. I'm gonna. The beer is probably not helping, but yeah. Between the rosewood and that, it's not that big of a difference as far as I'm concerned. It's just maybe this one's a little lighter in spots, but that's about it.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for showing those. That's awesome.
Oh, no problem.
So, Steve, have you picked up anything new, mate, since last time we spoke?
No, I've been basically poor since the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
So really, there's been want and desire for a few things. I would like to pick up a couple of pedals. And first, everybody has the brand they like. For me, I happen to like Boss pedals.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's a zillion out there, and people tend to get
stuff
quite addicted to them, But the thing I like about it, now remember, I'm not a gigging professional, right? But the thing I like about them is they're built like tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Tanks, yeah.
And
you won't break them.
Yeah, and they all wire together the same way. The inputs and the outputs are all in the same spot. They all, even if they're not the absolute top of the line of stuff, they're just good, solid stuff. So,
I wouldn't downplay
find it hard
pedals. I reckon there's nothing wrong with them. Like, the only thing that people dismiss Boss pedals over is the fact that design hasn't really changed in the last 30 years. So they kind of still look the same, right? Whereas a lot of the boutique manufacturers, it's just, they go overboard with the enclosures and all that kind of stuff. It makes no difference. Like, I know guys that have had Boss pedals since the dawn of them, and they're still working now. So, they're good pedals. I just think visually they're maybe not quite as, as elaborate as some of the other brands out there. But they sound fine.
If you have a design that works, why change it?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, someone actually just wrote that in the chat. That exact moment. Hab says, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, what were you thinking of picking up? Like, what sort of effects?
Oh,
Metal Zone.
No. No, dude.
Great blues metal.
God bless metal players.
3 metal zones.
I can't see that. I was thinking of some sort of sustainer or something. Just
cool.
Not exactly sure what, but you know, a compressor.
Do you have any overdrives at the moment?
I've got a blues. I've got a blues driver.
Oh,
not,
cool.
Not
Nice.
not the not the Waza, the one right before that. And I've got a tube screamer.
Oh, there you go. You got your overdrive sorted. That's all you need.
Yeah, you know. So I was just thinking, I was thinking maybe a compressor or something, or whatever, you know. And at that, I think I have mostly the stuff that I would want, you know. From this point on, anything I would get would be something not I'm particularly lusting or gassing over, you know. But just yeah, just for something new, you know.
It'll be the one effect that you put on for 5 minutes and then never use.
Exactly.
Take it off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get a delay.
Hey, Steve, do you have a pedal board?
I do. It's again, I went inexpensive with it. I have the it's made by Boss. I think it's called a B60 or something like that. It's just a plastic case. It closes up when you open it up, and it's got inserts and everything inside for I think up to 6 pedals. It's got its own power supply with it. Which daisy changes everybody together, so you know you can run 9-volt pedals with it. The only thing that I noticed about it, it's a little hissy when you start putting stuff together.
Noise from it.
Yeah, okay. So I just went out and got a separate power brick, and you know it seems.
Okay, did I fix the problem?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
went out and got
a mark for a pedal board.
I got a Voodoo.
I just wondered.
I think if I was looking for a pedal board, you know, for me, it's more a place to keep my pedals when I'm not using them. So, you know, it's a place to keep them stored and protected and everything else. But I think if I was looking at boards, I'd probably look at something, you know, not that.
This is the closest thing I have to a pedal.
Hey, all condensed in one.
To one size fits all.
What?
How do you like that pedal board?
I did like it. I started learning how to use it, and then I got the THR 10X Yamaha, and this doesn't get touched anymore. But you can get some.
Send it to me, Mitch. I'll give it a good home.
Yeah, I know you will. I got a lot of stuff.
You have a lot of suitors for that, Mitch.
Actually, I got something sent to me the other day. I'll go grab it. I'll show you guys this. It's a little bit different.
Okay. I'm still in this pedal board hell because I want to get one. I'm trying to be inexpensive about it, but I probably should just go for it and just get the one I need because I got a lot of pedals that are big and you know that don't actually require a battery. You know, I got stuff that
the last actual pedal I bought was maybe a Crybaby in the late 1970s.
Yeah, stuff like this.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jamal, you could try a pedal train or something like that. It would probably work for you. They've got all kinds of different sizes and all.
Yeah, because I know I think Todd Flowers. I don't know if he's on the chat or not. If he is, hey, what's up, Todd? He's been telling me about Blackbird pedal boards, and they do have a 15 by 30. I'm thinking that's probably what I need. I just need to get a power supply for that.
You know, it seems like you can get something like this, everything from something just very functional to practically something that's almost a work of art. Because some of them are like, you know, wood carvings and everything else, and very ornate and very pretty, but you know,
you want it to get damaged.
You're going to put it out on the floor and step on it when you go right down to it. So. How pretty does it need to be?
Yeah, that's true.
So I picked up this I got sent this for a review. It's like a modular pedal board. So you get like the little effects that you can put in any order you like, which is pretty cool. And you can obviously move them around. They connect via this little chip thing on the bottom as opposed to having to use jacks. So yeah, it's really interesting. And then you can essentially like get, you know, multiples of one effect or whatever you want. They just sort of click in. And then you can program what the buttons do. So if you want, you know, it's like quick switching. So you can program one button to control multiple effects. And then there's 2 rows of 4. So you've got 8 options on the switches. It's pretty cool. And it's steel too. This thing's kind of awesome.
You know, it's got so many controls on it. It looks like you can control the Death Star with it, you know?
I guess the good thing,
ignition sequence.
the cool thing about it, I guess, is the fact that it's kind of familiar. You know, if you need more volume, you just turn up the volume. It's
You mean it looks like a prop from Spaceballs?
yeah, it's pretty.
Have you used it yet, Shane?
Yeah, I have. I haven't taken it.
How do you like the sound?
It sounds really good. Like I'm a big fan of the Bayang X Drive from years ago. It's one of my favorite old overdrives. That's who makes this. It's the same company.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So far, so good. Look, I don't really like the fuzz a whole lot, but I don't like fuzz anyway.
Not a fuzz, man.
Yeah, most of the effects are pretty good. The only weakness is probably the reverb, but the delay and the rest of the effects sound really, really good. So, yeah, it's cool. I might take it up tonight and see if I can get a sound out of it with the SX.
Are you jamming tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of a play. It's my Sunday ritual, almost every week.
Okay.
He's going to go pull up a bass breaker.
Since you did the review on the Katana 50 and 100, now would that amp be good for pedals?
Yeah, it works all right. I mean, for a solid state amp, it definitely sounds pretty good. Yeah, I almost feel like with those kind of amps, you can just get away without using them. There's usually enough stuff on the inside of them that you don't necessarily need to use pedals.
I don't use pedals because I just play them, for myself. But now I'm seeing all these reviews, and I was wondering if I could use any for that.
Yeah, you can definitely use pedals into the Katana. No doubt about it. A friend of mine's got the 50 or the 50. Oh no, it's the 100. I can't remember. Anyway, he uses the Tube Screamer just straight into it, and it works fine. So
really, okay,
yeah. And that's kind of.
I thought for a second Jamal fell asleep there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sending money to people. I'm sending my guitar fund money to people.
There you go.
It's killing me. It's killing me.
If you send your
If you
guitar
got money you
fund
don't want, Steve will take it.
I'll give it a good home.
I gotta buy it first, though. I
promise I'll give it a good home.
Some money. But
show me the money.
Yeah, kids. When they get older, they get more expensive. I got twins that are 23. I got 2 older stepdaughters that live up in Minnesota, so I'm the money. So it makes it. That's why it's so. I have to do.
So he's always at work.
Yeah, that's why I'm always at work, and that's why I gotta.
So you gotta draw the line and say you're 23. You can't get a job at McDonald's.
They're going to school, so you try.
Yeah.
You gotta baby them a little bit because they are going to school. They are taking care of their business, so to speak. But it doesn't help the fact
Jamal,
that it's killing my guitar fund.
Does money too? All together at the same time now, guys. Hi, Papa.
We're over there going, gosh darn it, super chat.
Yeah.
Send funds.
No, Jamal is right in that regards, though. For the U.S. schooling is just outrageously priced.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane, But you gotta do what you gotta do to, if you're going to school, try to get, try to get a decent job. I just went to graduation last month for my sister and my niece. I don't even want to know how much money she spent on her schooling because she went for a master's. So.
Oh my God.
Exactly. My parents were like, "We're not paying for that." So
Jamal, couldn't she just watch YouTube and learn how to do it?
I know. That's all I know how to do most of the time.
Shane will do a video.
That's it.
Yeah.
How to do neurosurgery on the brain.
For dummies.
For dummies.
And 10 easy steps.
First, crack open the skull with a flying V.
If you don't have a V, try a Les Paul. But it has to be between the years of 1995 and 2000.
First sterilize your ice cream scoop. Then sterilize. Proceed with 60-ounce bottle of Jack Daniels.
Sounds like a plan.
So Kevin in the chat here asked a question that I'm not 100% certain of the context of it. So feel free to rewrite it. I'm not sure if anyone else understands the question. Feel free to read it out. But it's a small hands, thin neck, thought that will blues. I'm not really sure what you mean. So just reword it. And if you can, I'll answer it. Just put @in the blues on there so I can see it.
Shane, have you ever played the Yamaha THR 10X or 10 series?
I have, only at the shop. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like a produced guitar track almost in a small box. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean for practice. I mean that's all I use right now.
Shane, you going to do any more of those Willard Blues videos?
Yeah, as the stuff becomes available and kind of, I don't want to overdo those, but I need to find the right sort of gear. There might be something else I've seen that I'm keen to try. So yeah,
I thought they were fun to watch.
Thanks, man.
We should get Slosh to do a hangout one day. We could all put our wigs on. We'll have like a
yeah.
I like the outtakes.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to do. You get this thing in your head you want to say, and then it ends up you just get this laughing loop.
That shit was hilarious. Sorry for cursing, but that shit was hilarious. This battle's on mother beep.
Yeah, but man, I got on a forum because I didn't know how to get that thing to sound any good. I was like, how do we get this to work? And there was one setting for a tube screamer-ish kind of sound, and that was it. Everywhere else, it sounded horrible.
Yeah, because you actually pulled something that sounded decent out of that. I was just like, oh, maybe I should get one of these metal tones.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
You know who's really, really good at mixing all that video up? Robert Baker. I mean, not him, he's a fantastic guitar player, but his videos, I mean, when he's doing something, and he's really good at that.
Oh yeah, he's got a great channel. He's great. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, great player. Nice guy too. Really nice dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's done some interesting and I thought insightful videos too has been Landon. Did you see some of that stop motion stuff he did?
Oh yeah, he's great.
Oh yeah, his stop motion stuff was awesome.
That was insanely cool.
I asked him what he used. I think it was called Face Swap because I thought about doing something and thought
Yeah, and he's got the one where he does the mouth on everybody and he does everybody's accent and stuff.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Shane from the Blues. And I think you check out Landon 27's channel.
Like a 5-minute thing would take me like 3 days to do.
Yeah. Oh, you get better at editing and all that sort of stuff the more you do it. And it's slow start for everybody. No one's just great at it straight away. But so
I think Landon was. That was what, like, even right from his very early days. Like, you check out any channel, go back to their first few videos, he seemed to be really hitting the mark right from the start. And he didn't, back the days when he added like 200 people watching or whatever, he seemed like a really big channel.
It's also dependent on technology as well. Like when guys like myself started, there was no editing software.
Yeah,
it was like record to a. There was, but there wasn't anything good.
There wasn't even
Yeah, so we didn't have even, HD cameras back in the old days either. So it was just.
But your content was still good, and what you were saying was genuine, So that always came through in any of your videos was what you were saying, you meant what you said, even though it may not be visually spectacular, but what you were saying was coming out as was truth. So I think that's why
we all watch it, because he's up front, he's straight.
Oh, thanks,
he's telling us, he's telling it like it is, without being a shield for anybody or.
I mean, all the stuff you saw on my channel for 4 years was pretty much stuff I bought and sold, basically, or borrowed off friends. So that's how I started. I had a lot of guitar friends, and they let me borrow any of their crazy collection of pedals and all that kind of stuff. So it was good fun. Michael B says, any interest in a Hot Rod 4 review? Yeah, absolutely. It's a great amp. The new Hot Rods are amazing. I reckon Fender have finally got it right. Rick and I actually tried the new DeVille version 4. And it's probably the best Fender amp I've played. And then I tried the hot rod at a different shop. I haven't done a video of it yet. I'm waiting still for Sky Music to get some so I can borrow them, but it might replace my Blues Deluxe.
Really?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
That's saying something.
I like it a lot.
How long have you had that Blues Deluxe?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably 5 years. That's the second one that I had, though. So, yeah, I had one prior to that for 5 years. So, I don't know. I'll probably keep it, actually, anyway. It is a good amp, but the Hot Rod Deluxe is like the Marshall, in my opinion. You just plug it in. You don't need any effects. It just sounds great. So, the drive channels are actually usable. It's the first time ever that I felt like those channels are really, really good. So, there was some serious gas going on about that recently. Yeah, I'm going back into this whole just plugging in and playing mentality as opposed to, I don't know.
You're not an effects guy. You're a less effects guy, I guess.
I like effects a lot, but I play better when I'm not fiddling around with stuff, especially live. Yeah. If I just plug in and play, I generally focus more on what I'm doing as opposed to tweaking all the controls. But
you know, when you see folks that are really into a lot of pedals and stuff, and they'll do a guitar review, you know, they'll say, "Hey, here's my 57 whiz bang here," you know, and they're going to play it for you, and they start playing, and you can hear that they've got it plugged into about 15 pedals.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you know, I'm curious to hear what it sounds like with pedals, but play me the guitar, will you please? You know, if you're showing me the guitar, show me the guitar, and then say. And if you like the pedal, you know, put it in, you know, and it sounds like this, you know, if you turn it up louder, it sounds like that. But play me the guitar before you start, you know, plugging in devices to it.
That was actually one of the complaints I got quite a few years back, because when I was demoing my guitars that I did have at the time, I would have a lot of effects on, and I was getting quite a few comments where people were saying, you know, you have effects on and it's kind of taking away from what we hear the guitar actually being like. So that's actually when I went in and I made my separate patches with the VIP2, and like my one patch where I'm always clean, all it is the classic 50 amp emulation, just totally clean, no delay, no reverb, no effects.
That's all it really needs to be, you know. Just play it for, just noodle with it for a moment or two and say, "This is here's the clean sound," you know.
Yep.
Here's the clean on the neck. Here's the clean on the bridge, you know. And this is what it sounds like, you know. And if I turn the tone one way, I get this, and then plug pedals in and show us what you want to do from there.
Steve, I use my dirty sound to cover up my mistakes.
Well, yeah, there's that too. Don't we all?
Oh, it sounds better with a little reverb.
I use my mistakes to cover up my
overdrive.
So just a quick shout out to 6 in Line 3 aside. Just used the super chat as well. So thanks for that, man. He says
super chat.
He says alter ego benefits top up scheme for unemployed wigs. So thanks, man. I appreciate that. I might have to invest in like a mullet wig or something coming up. So.
Get a mohawk.
You can now invest in a shimp wig.
Really?
Like the Three Stooges.
Shimp the Three Stooges?
Yeah. The bowl cut.
Shimp Howard. Shimp Howard or Shimp Fine was his last name. Howard, I think.
Howard.
Yeah, it was Howard. I actually stumbled onto a video of him in I think it was late 70s interview on one of those talk shows. Gray hair, and he still had the haircut, and he actually explained how it was. He still had the
pudding bowl haircut on. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think I saw the same one.
The Mike Douglas guy.
Yes.
Might have been, yeah.
Mike Douglas.
HK had a question just before regarding the channel. He wrote, did you have the complete plan for your channel in one go, or like from the conception? Not at all. I just was uploading all kinds of stuff in the early days. I still have some of that on my channel still. If you go back to the start, there's some like travel stuff. When I was at the University of Michigan, there's some like band clips. That's pretty much what it was for me early on, was just putting up funny videos or band clips. So it's kind of evolved into what it is now over time. I never really went in with a plan. But I found out that pretty early on that, you know, being like back then, I actually had some of the first demos and reviews of stuff on YouTube, you know, for that particular thing, which is pretty hard to do these days. So I realized, oh, wow, I got an audience for this and it's fun. So that's kind of how that started. Yeah,
hey,
there was
Shane,
no real
you can
plan.
ever do another one of those videos like you did a while ago with all the crazy sounds coming from the pedals?
Yeah, I might have to. There's actually
I gotta tell you, whenever I think about that video, I still get a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
I thought it was funny and creative at the same time.
Shane reviews the Miku pedal.
There's a few pedals I could definitely get my hands on that would be up there with those, no doubt about it. So
you gotta do the pedal review of the sequel, you know.
No, you might be right about that.
I'd watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I've got access to a lot of pedals at the shop there, so I'll see what I can find.
You got to get the same hat and the same glasses on and stuff. You know, you got to do the whole vibe all over again.
You can get a Miku and bitter.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and check that out. It's been a while since I've actually seen that video.
He froze.
You know, I don't think I have a lot. What happened?
You froze
up for a second.
Yeah, we lost all of that.
That's all right. It's just my dodgy internet. Yeah, I was just saying I'll have to see what I can do. I'll find some weird pedals.
Well, if you could be half as creative with the new one as you were with the last one, it would be hysterical.
Yeah, cool.
Dude, I got to tell you, I laughed for hours after I saw that. My wife came in and said, "What is so funny?" I said, "You got to watch this thing that Shane's in." And she's laughing along with me.
Oh wow, cool. Well, that's good fun.
Yeah, my wife just shakes her head.
Yeah, my husband's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
She screams, "I have 5 guitars." And I show her, look, I'm watching. He's got about 50 or 60 guitars. She just shakes her head.
Dan Sullivan makes a good point. He goes, he wonders what a Miku into a Pog would sound like.
It's just something that if you're not into it yourself, someone else just isn't going to get it. It's too focused. You know, the folks that like their guitars and make their music, you know, whether you're doing it for a living and making $1 gazillion or, you know, you're just a guy like myself, you know, having fun with it in his family room. If you don't have that focus, you won't get it. Mm-hmm. You won't get it. My wife's fairly tolerant, you know, of the stuff I buy. I don't have a lot of stuff. You know, and when I say, you know, gee, hon, you know, I'm looking at this guitar over here. She says, well, you know, if you can think we can pay for it, it's okay. You know, I mean, she gets it's something that, you know, that just, you know, lifts my spirit a little bit. So, you know,
Steve, are you retired?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I won't be able. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. I got 2 more years if I can make it that long, and then it's going to stop. I won't have no money to do anything.
Well, yeah, like for myself, it basically wasn't my plan. It just worked out that way. It was like, okay, I'm done. Retirement. Here I am. Ta-da!
About halfway.
But that's like
20 more years.
Just reach over and turn off the alarm clock.
What was that, John?
I was just going to say, everybody's got this stuff. I mean, we you know, geeking out over our gear and our guitars and stuff. That's what we do. You know, my brother plays golf. He'll, you know, spend his time and his money doing that. Oh, yeah. You know, so everybody's
got. Oh my God, that new tailor-made driver. Oh my God, I can't believe I drive 25 more yards.
That's it. And you know, the rest of us won't tell the difference between this one and that one. You know, I've got mates that have got their boats. I've got mates that like to go out, you know, go on their weekends hunting and stuff like that. Everybody's got their thing to do.
Right. I mean, I have to have an EVH. I just have to have one.
Yeah. Well,
the secret of touring pros everywhere.
I have a top secret for getting more guitars. My wife found this piano on one little community list, and it's a nice piano. She used to play piano when she was younger. So cool. I'm going to get that thing fixed up for her. See, that way, when I get another guitar, it's not going to be just another guitar. It'll just be like, oh, okay, this is something else because she's gonna be on that piano. So you gotta think of, hey, it's like Ocean's 11. You gotta think of the long con.
Yeah, I think of the long con.
Nice, nice.
I bought this so we could play together, baby.
Exactly. I say, yeah, we can play together eventually.
And if the long con doesn't work, Jamal, you can send it to me and I'll give it a good home.
Of course.
I'll be flying over your house every other weekend to play.
There we go.
So this is a good point. Actually, Jack Daniels in the chat here just said you might want to tell your Australian fans or friends that as of today, there are no longer $1,000 limits when you buy something from overseas or GST-free limits. So any purchases now from outside of Australia for us, we get charged even more.
No,
which is
really?
on top of what we already pay for a lot of stuff. But odds are a lot of stuff will still work out cheaper, even with the 10%. I snuck in on eBay last night before midnight and picked up a few little things from overseas to sort of get around that GST thing. But it's now true for anything that you buy. Used to be that anything over $1,000 was charged, but good point. It's as of today, you're right. New financial year as of today.
Shane, are they doing that just to try and get you to buy Australian, or what's
probably
that?
so the government can make even more money off us.
Yeah. You know what? You're not the only country that has a government like that.
No, this is Australia's completely. It's different to the. It's similar to the US, but there's a lot here that we're like micromanaged here compared to other countries. It's really not. It feels people say Australia is probably one of the best countries in the world. It might be for a lot of things, but I look at our road system and all of our taxes and stuff, man, it's pretty brutal compared to a lot of, and prices for stuff too. It's really quite crazy when you take into account how many taxes there are on everything. But anyway, it's pretty.
It just kills me to believe that a Squire costs almost $1,000 in Australia.
Yeah.
To me, that's a crime. I mean, they're made in Indonesia and China. That's closer than the U.S. is.
Yeah, by far.
So why would it cost that much money?
By far.
It bugs me. It really does.
Yeah, it is insane. I'll bring up some, I'll do a search and I'll show you. Look, we get deal prices in shops where you can knock off, a decent amount of money, but the retail price is so exorbitant that the deal price really isn't that cheap. When you take everything into account.
Is like still.
Wow. Well, at least it isn't as bad as it being $1,000 for a Squire from the 80s that isn't made in Japan. Now, that would be terrible and crying over.
You mean like a used one?
No, I mean like the quality of what the 80s Squire Stratocaster used to make.
Yeah.
All right, so this is...
Well,
I'll go ahead, Jamal.
Go ahead.
No, you're right.
I was gonna say, I remember I had a Squire Strat. It was a black one. It was similar to the custom shop one, except it had a rosewood neck. It was made in Korea. It said Fender by Squire in small little print. So
there you go, guys.
My God, $970. Jesus, that costs more than all three of these guitars.
Yeah, that's
Seriously.
not. See, look at the regular retail price below it. $1,149.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think my browser's crashed. Hang on.
So, what would be a good deal price for that $975?
No, that is the deal price.
That's the deal price?
On that one, it is. Yeah. So you could probably still get them for around $800, maybe more. I'm not really too sure. It's crazy, man.
Wow, it really is.
That's part of the reason I went for the SX stuff, because even a good deal price on a classic vibe wasn't it didn't feel good. I still went, I'm getting stooged with this price. So I basically bought two guitars for less than half of the price in the end. So yeah.
Remember the time when you were doing the contemporary Squires, that black Strat and the red telly? I was
with the colored.
Getting interested in those, and I had a look, and I could have got one sent over from that Toman in Germany cheaper than what they're charging here.
Yeah, wow, yeah, I'm not surprised.
How much did they charge, John?
I can't remember. It was like they were getting up around the $800 800, maybe
You want to
900
know how much
price
it
mark.
costs in the U.S.?
They're built like $300 here.
$350. $350. That's insane.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I mean, really, it angers me because it's just like, I just have the thought process that I understand a markup. You guys are on an island. Your continent's on an island. And it costs money to ship it. But that much of a markup, especially for something that's coming from Indonesia and China, that's just wrong.
That particular red one, retail price just from the first shop I found, and they're all the same, is $729.
That's twice as much as you buy it in the U.S.
I tell people this all the time.
To ship to the U.S.
I mean, take into account also the exchange rate of the currencies as well, because when you hear dollar, it's not. It's like about 75 cents.
Yeah,
but still,
even when we had a strong dollar a few years back, it still wasn't.
Yeah.
It still wasn't close. Like
it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Yeah, see, here's the same guitar that Shane just showed. Here's on one of our Canadian major retailers for musical instruments.
But is that
$5.99?
Is that US or is that? Okay.
That's not including tax there, though, is it?
Yeah, that's before tax.
Yeah, so ours is including it. We don't have the before and after thing. They just charge you 10% included in the price.
That's why you said you were thrown off a little bit when you were in the States that time.
Oh, yeah, the first time.
Then when they told you the price with the tax, you're like, where'd that come from? Yeah.
Hey, we got Cheddar's here. David, how are you, man?
Hey, Cheddar.
Hey, man.
How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm late joining.
Oh, that's all right.
over for dinner.
No
Hey,
problem.
How you doing?
Thanks for all the support over the last, however long it's been, man. And well done on your YouTube channel, too. Good stuff.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm having fun with it.
I watched the Sweetwater video. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. That one was a lot of work.
Look good, though. Look good.
And now you're an owner of a PRS.
Yeah, a couple of them.
That's right.
That's cool. He's us talking about cheap sub $200 guitars, and you got a wall full of great guitars behind you, man. So
thank you. I mean, I've got this Squire bass that's $300, less than $300, and that I love that. I can't complain about it at all.
All right, you can stay.
There's great guitars at every price.
Well,
Of course there is.
Yep.
So someone said, what happens if you buy off Reverb and have it shipped from the US? Same thing. So I think everything's taxed. I don't know if used items are, but I know new items are. So, yeah, I'm not 100% certain. My tip would be probably everything that is sold through a store would be taxed. That would be my.
You're probably getting a similar thing to like what we have here in Canada, which is import tax, which is basically like a sales tax almost ding.
Yeah,
from what it sounds
Shane,
like.
I just pulled up my exchange rate thing, and at $350, that's $472 Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still there's such a discrepancy in price. I just want to illegally just ship hundreds of thousands of Squires to Australia and sell them at U.S. prices.
You know the funny
Australia. That's what I want to do.
The funniest thing is Australia's like one of the cheapest places to import stuff from China. Like it costs us nothing. We can get it like a shipping container for next to nothing. Yeah. So, it's crazy. There's just it must be a lifestyle markup for whoever's selling them.
The other thing too is that you get to the point where that's what stuff costs, so that's what stuff costs, and everybody will just put up to that price anyway.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sure if you wanted to go and put something together and import a whole bunch of stuff, you probably could do it for cheaper. But then the other thing too is people will look at that and say, "Oh, that's like $150 cheaper. Must not be very good."
Must be crap. Yeah.
Cool.
It could be exactly the same thing.
Like there's got to be some way. I'm trying to figure out a way to get you guys some Squires for under $1,000. There's got to be a way. I figure we got to figure out between all of us, we can figure some way of getting that, making that happen.
Please do it, please.
I know.
And if we don't want it, you can send it to Steve's house.
Here it is. I'll give it a good home. Hey, Jamal, here it is.
What's that?
I'll take my virtual airliner. We'll convert it into a cargo plane. I'll virtually fly it to Melbourne.
Okay.
We'll unload it there for the guys there, and they'll never, and no one will be the wiser.
They won't know a thing, huh?
You know, I can probably come up with a 747 cargo liner. You know,
move to the States.
Just fly them all over there. I mean,
just have to go visit.
Just looking out from. Oh, go ahead.
Just have to go visit and carry one onto the plane and one checked, and a few thousand trips to Australia, you'll make a dent.
We fly direct
flyer miles,
Sydney, so I'm thinking, hey, maybe that might work. Because right now that flight leaves here like about 11 o'clock at night, gets there at like 7 in the morning.
Okay, I'll start working on the flight plan.
No, but it does just find it just really outrageous that market is that bad up there for some instruments that are made in China. That, I mean, you can get like I guess from probably that same product line, they probably make a similar brand or lesser brand. They probably ship to Australia and sell for half as much.
Yep. The inherent problem is this, though. It's the American dollar that really does kill it for all other countries.
Because it's stronger, or what are you saying, Ter?
Yeah, in some ways it's stronger, but it's the thing that basically every other dollar is put against. So every single time the U.S. government decides to up the value of the American dollar, it further hurts anyone else that is competing against the American dollar.
I'm not a financially savvy person. I got to say this, but I don't always understand how a government can say, okay, my dollar, my whiz bang dollar, is now worth X, because for the most part, don't I have to reach out to people that live in other cultures and communities to say, okay, we agree that, we accept that exchange rate or something or other, because I can turn around today and say, well, my whiz bang dollar is now worth twice what yours is. I mean, you can get into just, the proverbial pissing contest, if you will, so I don't sometimes understand how we can say, my country's dollar is worth this, and your country's dollar is worth less. I don't really understand how that can actually even exist. You've got to have, a value has got to be a value no matter what it is. Like if all of us could sit here like on the board right now and say, okay, tomorrow the Fender Stratocaster costs $1,200 and that's it. But the American government could turn around and say it's 15. The Canadian government says, no, it's 27. The Australian government turns around and says, no, $42.95. I mean, sometimes to me, this seems like a dog chasing its tail. The harder the dog chases it, the faster it gets away from them.
And I don't know if, like I know I think it was in England, they had that raid, I believe, with Fender, Korg, and a couple other brands.
Yeah, there was something recently that
price fixing. So I don't know if that's just something that's going on just over there, or it could be like a bigger, overall thing that they've been doing. Because I mean, if that's the case, if price fixing, if that's the case, looking at what you're paying for a standard Strat or a player Strat, the bottom line, that's you're paying $1,000 for a Squire. So
they're pricey enough here. They're pricey enough here to begin with, but when I hear about, like what Shane is saying, they're paying for stuff over there. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand how, this particular, we're talking about, this particular product area. This guitar should be worth X amount of dollars. Now, okay, I understand, if I make it here, and it costs me X to make it, and I say, look, I want 15%, profit on it. So, that's the price I want to sell it for. And Shane says, okay, look, send me one over here on the first ship you can get out. I would have to say, okay, look, it's going to cost this much to ship it and everything else, la-da-da. I can see that, but I don't know how, that at that point would turn into be something so much more expensive than just that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I mean,
I think it's also an extra level of distributor as well. Because
I guess there's always middlemen and everything, punching the price up on
somebody's getting their hands greased.
Yeah. Hey, T-Ball, welcome, man. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, boo?
Fine.
Hey,
How's it going? Can you
there
guys
he
hear me
is.
well?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're coming in great.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, it's working.
Hey, Shane. Thank you, guys. Everything's well, thanks. Just literally woke up. I'm having some
Oh, okay.
problems sleeping at the moment. Yeah, it's like, what time is it? It's like
What time is it, buddy?
3:45 a.m.
3:45.
Oh,
No, 2:45. Yeah,
that's not
Yeah,
much
I'm
better,
just-
brother.
yeah. No, I'm just having some problems sleeping. I got a bit of a lower back pain issue, so I literally woke up
Sorry
to
to hear that.
take a painkiller, and I thought, let me check my emails. Just let me take a quick. And I saw I saw the email from you, Shane. So I just thought
Hey,
give it a little.
thanks for joining in. Your music's great, man. Those couple of backing tracks you sent through were just unreal for those videos, man. They just, yeah. So thanks.
Oh, thanks, man. No, likewise, Shane, and thanks for the pedal, man. I actually.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome.
T-Ball
Yeah,
won
right.
the giveaway recently that we did last milestone subscribers. So yeah, that's the Versus Audio straight flush. Yeah, there it is.
It's amazing pedal. Thank you so much, Shane, and to Panos as well. Like,
you.
wow,
Yeah.
I remember, like, I just, actually woke up in the morning and I saw that you posted a new video. I was actually hanging upside down from like a chiropractic bed. When I saw that, I almost fell off. I couldn't believe that I won it. So I'm like, wow.
No, it was just the perfect vibe, man. Just that jazz one in particular is just spot on. So whoever saw the last Guitar Search Saturday, I pretty much had it as soon as I think the second sort of track in or whatever it was after the intro. And yeah, it was awesome, man. You're great at what you do, so keep at it. It's awesome stuff.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Shane. Thanks.
No worries at all.
Awesome.
Give out lessons.
Yeah, you got an entire board of people here that would probably pay to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the level of production was a pro level of production too. I mean, I've been recording bands and stuff for years in my own band, and doing mastering for tracks here and there as well. But yeah, I hit play. I was just like, wow, what a production! Just really great, man.
Thanks, man. Well, the thing is, like, I'm actually like a session musician here in Budapest, in Hungary, and I work a lot in studios. And a lot of the time, I have a lot of like producer friends, and I always used to like nag them about like little tips of what they're doing in terms of mixing. So I got a lot of tips from them.
There you go.
And I also started learning a lot from YouTube. There's a lot of videos about like mixing.
Yeah, I watch a lot of those too.
They come in very handy, especially for bass. Like, it's actually it's one of the recent things which I've learned. You know, Shane, like how you stack overdraft pedals together to increase, like, to better your tone. Like, so instead of having one overdraft pedal where you crank the gain, you have two overdraft pedals with like moderate gains, and the two add up together basically.
Yeah.
Same thing works. I found the same trick with when using a compressor amongst your VSTs.
Yeah.
So basically, I think you use like Cubase or Nuendo. Or
yeah, I do. Yeah, and I've got the Wave plugin set as well.
Yeah. So a trick which I found was instead of using heavy compression on the bass, let's say you got your plugin. So instead of using one compressor which is very, very heavily compressed, what you do is you have two compressors in series, which are like the way you would have two overdrafts together in series or stacked together. You basically have two compressors after each other, but they're like, you can actually back them off, and it makes them become very, very fat and punchy. It's quite interesting what you use as a guitar player. Actually, you can use a similar concept as a music producer, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I got a couple of really good tips on mixing bass from the Waves channel recently as well. They put up a tutorial with one of the guys. I can't remember who it was, but he was saying that the what's it called? I forgot the name of the plugin off the top of my head, but I tried it. It was really great. It was like was a CLA 72 or something. It was based on this rack unit thing. Anyway, yeah, it's a peak limiter kind of, so it kind of brings down the. It does what a compressor does, but it just sort of evens it out really in a really great way to your ear. I used to leave a lot more dynamics in bass on earlier recordings, but on my last album, I tried this approach, sort of taking out the dynamics of the bass to some extent, and it really worked great in the mix. Like it just sort of filled it out in a way that I wasn't used to. It didn't have as much. Usually, you still want dynamics in the sound, but I'll see if I can find the link anyway. I'll shoot it across to you because it's really cool.
I think I know what you're talking about. I was actually looking at the Waves plugin website as well. I think it's a limiter, a compressor limiter in one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And actually, this trick I'm talking about is called serial compression, which it's something new which I found out. It's probably not new to many people, but it works wonders. Yeah.
There's so many great tutorials online for like how to record and how to mix and all that kind of stuff. It's just a wealth of information these days. I even watched like that Chris Lord guy. He does a lot of stuff for Waves, and it's great to see those guys kind of work and sort of plug their stuff. But yeah, they do some really great tutorial videos when it comes to mixing. Yeah. Phil Smith said the CLA 76. Yeah, that's the one. I thought that was it. So terrible when it comes to. I know exactly where it is in my menu, but I'm terrible at remembering what the name of it is. So
it's the first sign of old age, Shane.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, it's getting a bit grey in here these days.
Oh, you're not even 40 yet, Shane.
Yeah, almost. I turned 39 last month.
Your mirror anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're at the edge. What's better than 39? It's 41. When you turn 41, you're just like 41 anything. You're so worried about turning 40 because it's such a milestone, quote unquote, age. It's basically saying, I'm not a kid at all anymore. I'm an adult. I'm a full-grown adult when I turn 40. Can't be a kid. Although I'm a kid. I'm a kid at work. I'm 44. I act like a jackass at work and at home. So.
They say men don't grow up, they get old. I reckon that'll be me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Shane, I always used to like to tell people, because I don't have a lot of hair, but what I do have is gray. And sometimes I get kidded about it. I said, you know what this gray hair has? You know what this gray hair says? It says, I ain't no kid. It means I've been around the block a whole lot more than you have.
Yeah. No, that's it. So, David, tell folks about your YouTube channel, man, because you haven't been on one of our Hangouts before, if the guys don't know about it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I wasn't doing my channel the last community Hangout I was on. It's Cheddar Kung Pao. I do gear reviews, and I've been doing a lot of event videos. Inspired a little bit by Guitar Search Saturdays, but not at that level of production value yet. But you can see some cool gear and learn about like Gear Fest, the Experience PRS event. And I volunteered at TGU, so I had some behind the scenes stuff at TGU.
Cool.
Yeah, and I've been doing live stream Q&As with like one-on-one stuff with people like Ian Stitch from the Stitch Method channel or Sean Daniel and stuff. And maybe I can rope Shane into one eventually.
Yeah, man, I'm always happy to jump on stuff. Have you been on one of our Hangouts before? I can't remember. It's been ages, hasn't it? Like
it was
a year and a half or something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe not quite a year, but around that.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
I remember.
Maybe I was more unaware of your YouTube channel back then. It could have been.
I think I wasn't doing it. I think I wasn't doing it yet. I only started posting videos like last October.
Okay. All right.
It might have even been before that for the last Hangout.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So
you're coming up, Cheddar.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm trying to, I love this guitar community we all have going, and just trying to make my contribution because, I have some interesting gear, and sometimes there's not always reviews out there. One of the things I did was I bought a Harley Benton and reviewed it because I didn't see a ton of like owner reviews of like people who just bought one for the full price. And so that was interesting thing to do. Of course, now I've been to Tomon and volunteered at their event. I can no longer be an unbiased opinion on them, but I was when I made the video.
It's all good. It's all good. I will give
go
a
there
shout
and
out to
actually
Nick in the
try a
States.
good one.
Yeah.
I will give a shout out to Nick in the States, because if it wasn't for Nick, I would have never heard about Harley Benton.
Yeah,
He's the one who opened my ears and eyes to Harley Benton and what they offered as far as, you know, inexpensive gear at a, you know, relatively decent price, you know.
As soon as
And
David said
quality
Harley
gear and
Benton,
stuff,
I was gonna say you just made Nick in the States hearts, you know, warm.
Yeah.
Well,
Nick,
Nick,
I'm
ears are ringing.
like
Is
this.
somebody talking about me? Somebody saying something bad about me?
I have so many people say, "Oh, you should buy one," and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't buy guitars sight unseen. I always go to play them before I buy them, and I'm not keen on buying a dud. Not that they'll be a dud, but I don't want to be in a position where I buy a dud. And I don't really obviously need any more guitars right now either, but I wouldn't buy one unless I had a chance to actually put my hands on it and go, yeah, this is what I like, because I'm so fussy with not specs, but just what I like when it comes down to the playability side of things. So I would just hate to buy one and then just go, oh, what have I done? Like it's gonna go straight
Are you
on.
talking about any guitar?
Yeah, any guitar, just
like,
any guitar in general, but
guitars?
especially like Harley Benton's, because I haven't had a chance to play one, and I know John offered me to borrow one of his at some point, but
yeah, when I come down, definitely I'll have to get it in your hands somehow.
Yeah, cool. I'd like to check them out, but I'm not going to take a $300 risk on a guitar I haven't actually put my hands on. I wouldn't have bought those SX guitars either had I not actually played them. It changed my opinion on them. So that's kind of how I like to shop. I don't do it any other way.
Let's get this super chat started so we can get Shane funded for a Harley Benton. We need to get you a Harley Benton so you can do an unbiased review. It'll be funded strictly by super chat.
I think Cheddar's probably already funded that one.
Rick when you need it.
Yeah, thanks for all the super chat donations, man. When I catch one of yours, I'll be giving you some of that back. So
it'll be a while before I can monetize. So you might have to wait.
Oh, okay. Where are you at subscriber wise?
I was at 499 earlier today.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So
cool.
Yeah, I'm like halfway to 1,000. Yeah, and then I'll have to wait. It sounds like it takes about a few months at this point for Google to approve you once you hit there. But whatever. I'm not in a huge rush to monetize. I'm doing it for fun.
You got about 498 more than me, and I've had my YouTube channel for 10 years.
Yeah, actually, he's got 60 more than me, and my channel's been active since 2010.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Well, I have some good friends who've given me shout outs and stuff like Shane, so
cool.
It's helped.
He's gonna have to change its channel name now, though, to Cheddar Kung Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, right. I got to meet Paul at the Sweetwater event. He was really nice to me. I know he can be, kind of prickly, but he was really, really sweet and nice to me.
He signed your guitar, didn't he?
Yeah, he signed the back of the headstock. It was really cool.
Cool.
Hey, Cheddar, quick question about meeting Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah.
Were you holding your guitar when you were talking to him? Were y'all playing guitar?
No,
just actually talk to him?
I was just talking to him, and I was talking to him about my 21 Rules of Tone video that I did. He hadn't seen it, but he said he was going to watch it that night, and that I should come back and talk to him the next day. But I didn't get to catch up with him the next day.
He's very sociable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only person I've seen do an excellent interview with him was Music Is When. What's his name? Tyler, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler.
He did a podcast when they weren't even talking to they couldn't see each other. They were just doing it over online, but they were playing guitar.
Right.
I think he actually did a face to face, and they were talking together face to face, but they had their guitars. And that was the best.
Yeah, that was
Tone
good.
King was good, but something with Tyler, he made a connection with Tyler that I picked up on. I was just like, man. They're speaking through music.
They're talking
theory. It was kind of
cool.
It was
talking
really
theory.
cool, Yeah,
Paul's a great guitar player too. Hey, like he can play.
Yeah, he can play.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Tyler's a really nice guy. However, he may come off to you on the videos, but I spent some time with him at Tomon, and he is a really nice guy. Yeah,
cool.
The factory's only about 80 miles from me, 70, 80 miles from me.
Cool.
That's how close
well, if you can go to the Experience PRS event, they usually do it like every 2 years. I'd recommend going. The live music alone was really great. Yeah,
I might do that.
It's free to attend. So
we crashed at Mitch's house then, huh?
Yeah, everyone stay at Mitch's house.
We're all crashing at your place.
Hey, gentlemen, it's been 2 hours already. How about that? So we'll hang around for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to get some lunch at some point. It's 11 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's lunch.
We're doing all right.
I'm going to back out.
I'm on my third beer.
He has lunch. He has lunch, and we're going to bed.
I'm going to leave now.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What's your deal with Guitar Con for this year?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Your Guitar Con.
Overseas. So yeah, we did get invited. I got invited last year. It was something that I wasn't overly interested in. I did cover this on a live stream, but I'll let everyone else know. So this year I got invited again, and I wasn't interested. And then Dr. Rick, sort of like, man, it's a good opportunity. You should go. YOLO. You only live once. Go do it. I was like, how about? I said to him, you sound more excited by it than me. How about I see if I can get you to come with me? So I downgraded my business class seat for 2 economy seats. So I'm going to be sitting next to a 6-foot guy in economy, which is awesome. So we're going to go, and it seemed like a pretty good deal. Like they're not putting pressure on us to film anything.
It's still in Germany.
Yeah.
When is it going to do it? Are they going to do it at Coleman?
No, I don't know. It's at
is it the Framus factory, right?
Yeah, it's at the
It's a Framus. Okay.
So I just thought you never know with these things. I have a feeling it probably won't continue long term. I could be completely wrong about that. It might just be like something that goes every year, and I won't go every year, but I thought I'd give it a go. This time around. I've never been to Europe either. So I thought,
how long of a flight is that, Shane?
It's long.
It's over
24 hours all up.
Oh my god!
I got my tickets, but I don't want to look. It's going to be a long time.
When is it, Shane? When are you going?
I think October.
October, okay.
Yeah. So Rick and I will be going. If I couldn't get Rick, if Rick wasn't going to come, I wasn't going to go. That's pretty much.
He's leaving in October and arriving in November.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, Shane, the flight that you took to Boston, add 6 to 8 hours onto that. That's what it'll take to get
that. Yeah, look, it's just started. I saw the guest list and I thought, you know what? There's a lot of people going that I like their channels and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I might as well go. It seems like there's a lot of guys that I've never met, or some that I've emailed over the years but never actually met in person and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the guest list looked good. I thought, this year I'm a bit more comfortable going and having a good friend.
Something good could come out of it.
Well, yeah, that's it. Who knows? We'll see. I have no expectations, and there's no, they're not sort of, Rick and I pretty much speak our mind when it comes to stuff, and if we don't, we're not going to start raving about stuff we've never, I don't know how to say it. We're not going to just be raving about stuff because we're there. That's not how it works. So.
I'm going to say it for you. I have never seen a Framus that I really liked.
Yeah, same.
I
don't like his either.
And so, I mean, if you find one that you like, that's cool. But you're going to go with the assumption that there's not a Framus that I like.
I'd like to be surprised. Absolutely. I'd like to be surprised. That's how I felt about PRS for years. I was like, I'm not interested in PRS guitars. I said that for years, and then all of a sudden I played one. I was like, oh man, these are really good. And I actually bought my guitar. So, it was that's how much I like that.
I said I would never try a Floyd Rose. Now I'm on another one.
Yeah.
I made a mistake a few weeks ago when I walked into the shop and I tried Fender 52 reissue Telecaster. I was like, ah man, now I gotta get the money together to buy one of these things because they're just awesome. Actually, that's a big mistake.
Try the vintage series ones. Is it the American original series?
Vintage.
Yeah, American original series.
I saw a demo of one of those as well.
That guitar is unreal.
Yeah, I actually saw a demo of it.
It's close to. I reckon it's probably the best guitar, other than some of the custom shop guitars that Fender make. The original series are unreal. The Strat, the 50s and 60s Strat, and that 50s Tele are probably the three best guitars I've played from Fender, including mine. I reckon it. I was gassing so bad on when I played, but all of those guitars, they were all great. So yeah, I reckon they nailed it. And price wise, they're not that much. At least in Australia, they're not over the top expensive, considering like how expensive custom shop guitars are. So
are they cheaper than the 52 reissues? Then I presume, right?
I think so. Yeah, they sell for around. Yeah, I'd have to double check the price. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to cut out now. It's nice meeting everybody.
Mitch is going to holler at you, bro.
Yeah. Take care, Mitch.
Hey, thanks, Mitch.
Take care, Mitch.
Take care, guys. Good night.
See you, man.
We'll be out in 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw a video of this Telecaster you're talking about. I don't know what the guy's name is. It's like music and stuff music or something like that. It's like a bald guy who, and he was playing one of these. What is it? Vintage. Yeah, I forgot the name, but something what you were telling me about, Shane.
Yeah, the original series. I think they call it.
Yeah, in the demo, it sounds amazing. I was like, wow, that Telecaster sounds amazing, you know. But feel-wise, the 52 reissue in the shop was like, oof, because I got a friend who works in the shop.
Yeah.
Because Tibby, try this out, man. Oh man, I should not
have
tried that.
You can't go wrong with them. They're really good. Sorry, Steve.
I've seen some of the videos that he's talking about. The guy's name is Mark something, I think.
Mark
and stuff. And I got to tell you, anything he picks up, he makes it sound wonderful.
Yeah.
He's got that Dr. Rick vibe with him.
Yeah, I've watched a number of ones that he's done. And whenever I watch any of the In Stuff ones, I hope he's the one that's reviewing because he's got a touch.
Yeah,
he does.
Great player.
Yeah, some people just have that touch. They pick up an instrument and they make that thing sound like
just like Danish Pete with Anderson's video.
Oh yeah,
oh my god,
amazing.
I mean, all those guys are good players. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you know, actually, Dr. Rick sent me a video of Johnny Highland playing a Chapman Telecaster.
Really?
If you don't know who Johnny Highland is, anyone who's in the chat, go check him out. And Rob's just standing there with his jaw open, and it sounded phenomenal. He's like, dude, he walked up to me and said, dude, you're the best player I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
he's big into country and Western and chicken picking and everything else. He is quite a player. He's a big, hefty fella, too. Yeah. He almost looks comical with his guitar, but.
Yeah, he has it all the way over here. He's got the thing.
Yeah, wears it almost in his ab.
It's just a
sweet guy.
Plucking away.
If that video alone will make you want to buy a Telecaster for anyone who's thinking about it, just go, you know what? I want to play like this guy. So it's like the country shredder.
Yeah, he is.
The SX sounds amazing as well.
The country shredder.
Yeah. No, I just see American Origins 50s Tele for $17.99. I think the 52 is a little more. I think it's 19. Okay. The Origins 50 is a little less expensive. Just if you're,
Yeah, it's no less of
a Tele.
Yeah, it's no less of a guitar by any means. It's a really great instrument. Like if I didn't have one, and I would, the 52s are great, but something about those new original series ones, they're kind of, they tickle all the boxes, except for they got small frets still, but other than that, everything about them is just, they're beautiful. They're really great instruments.
Probably they'll have a 9.5. They'll have the 9.5-inch radius, I think, too, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm looking at AMS.
I can't remember off the top of my head what they were, but they're basically like a 52 Tele. They're same sort of deal, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember one of the Fender reps on one of the videos talking about them saying that basically their goal with that line was to take some of the stuff from like the custom shop versions of those guitars and bring it over, like the 9.5-inch radius tended to be ordered for the custom shop ones, and they use some kind of interesting hybrid nitro poly finish on them, so it's like a layer of nitro over a layer of poly or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, sounds like some sort of Black Ops program.
Yeah. Really cool.
They are really nice, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's got a 52 neck, 52U neck, and a 9.5 radius.
There we go. Cool.
I think I found the video. on End Stuff Music, the one I was looking at. It's actually, it says Fender American Vintage 52 Telecaster. I don't know if this is the one you were talking about, Shane.
Yeah, so there's the original series and the vintage 52 are two different.
It's a renaming. It's a rebadging, I think. Or rebadging of both.
The one I saw was this one, the American Vintage 52 Telecaster at End Stuff Music. That's the one I saw and I thought, wow, that sounds amazing. So I don't know if it's the same one. But...
That's probably the same as the one I've got, but the newer version. I could be wrong. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so this is labeled reissue. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. The new ones are just called 50s, like generically like 50s original series.
Original 50s, yeah.
Yeah. They're really nice.
And they're beautiful too. I'm gonna do a lot of nice things for my wife.
So we can play together, baby.
Exactly. There you go, John. It's just crazy because I have 4, but I want more. I don't think I'm ever gonna be satisfied with guitars. I always want another one. I just accepted the fact I have stick gas. I'm always going to want another guitar. If I just limit it to one a year, I should be okay. I mean, I'm going to probably get that PRS next year.
Yeah, you should get one. I reckon you'll enjoy it. Just don't buy it from wherever you waited a year and a half for it from. And
no, I'm gonna actually go ahead and get that PRS probably 2020 or is it 2019?
Cool.
I still need something for 2018 though. So.
Jamal just needs to go to his wife. Hey, honey, look it! I bought you another piano, and look, they threw in a new guitar with it.
No, the guitar was right inside of it. It was a case.
It's a hell of a deal. You don't get deals like that much these days.
Yeah,
no,
there's a great deal there.
Or find one second hand. I'm sure you can get a much better deal on them if you find them second hand.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's the best place to buy some stuff, no doubt about it. Actually, I've got a video coming up tonight, my time, so next 12 hours or so, that sort of goes over some of that stuff about, resale value and all that. So we'll see. It should be interesting. I put a bit of work into that one, so we'll see if it see how it goes. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get a move on. I got some stuff I want to do, including eating. Some point today.
Oh yeah, you got
eating.
Caffeine alone doesn't
putting you on a diet.
The Pepsi Max supply is low.
Yeah, I only got one other can left other than this one, so I'm starting to panic.
Goodness.
Starting to panic.
Some shake.
Got my tremors. Yeah.
Starting to get the Jones.
Somebody needs to send Shane a different country version of Pepsi Max so you can compare them to the Australian.
Oh, don't worry. I've tried them. I've tried the US one. It's different. It is different. But all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks. I appreciate everyone jumping on, and for those who joined and then left or got disconnected or whatever. So it's been good fun. Thanks, David, for jumping in as well, man. That's great.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Hey, no worries.
Right,
Jamal,
David,
thanks, man. John, Steve, Terry, Tibor.
Yep.
It's been good fun. Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Weekend and week next week, everyone.
Next time, dudes.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Catch you soon.
Next
Thanks,
time I'll
everybody.
probably be at work, but it's okay.
That's all right. That's good. We enjoying that. It's good fun. All right.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
Sonia, for moderating the
Okay,
chat.
guys.
Appreciate that. And Landon as well.
Bye,
Thanks, man.
rock.
And I'll catch you soon.
All right, take care.
Bye, everybody.
All right, see ya.